Okay, welcome back. I'm Randy. Welcome to my channel. I got my measuring tape, got my clipboard, got my dial caliper. We're going to look at a 1998 Ransom 728D tractor, really good tractor. And yeah, come with me and we'll go look at that. Alright guys, welcome back to my channel, and spring is here. The birds are just chirping. It's really nice sound, background sound. Enhancing the audio, they say. So this is the Ransom 72-inch mower deck. It goes on this tractor parked right ahead of it here. I took it off over a year ago now, and I was trying to think, why didn't I get this done last year? Frontline 728D 4-wheel drive, Perkins 28 horsepower liquid cooled diesel, tucked away in there. It's 3-cylinder. You can see the Perkins sticker right there. Beautiful tractor, well worth bringing it back up. This thing is so rusty and so beat up. I think every mower deck in the world, and faces the same kind of life. This tractor about 9 years ago, 2014 I believe. I'm pretty sure it was fall. As kids had started school, it was September, I think, of 2014, and it's a 1998. It's made by Ransom, but Jacobsen make Turf Cat. Pretty well the same tractor. It may have a different engine. It probably has either a Kubota or something else, maybe a Mitsubishi, who knows what kind of diesel engine. But many different motor options with this, as they made these over the years. The last time I checked, Jacobsen still made this model, and it's almost identical, a few little differences, and I don't think Ransom make this one anymore. So my plan here is to build a new mower deck. You see all the cracks? I mean, this is really a bad design. There's a lift point crack. The metal has gotten thin from rust, and then the lift point's right here, and it's always flexing in these same spots. Cracked right here. There's no fixing this. Crack right there, up in here. We'll look at it from the other side. So I bought all new. The reason why I took it out of part was the bearings had worn out to the point where the belt jumps off. So I added this about 3-4 years ago. I think I have a video of doing this, and then I patched one hole with that crappy piece of sheet metal here. I knew that it was on its way out, this mower deck. Look at the hole right here. So what happened was this, what I call the spine, what reinforces the whole thing, actually acts like a barrier for the grass clippings. So there is a cover for it, but there's cracks all around the cover, and no matter how hard I try to keep the grass out of there, it always collects up in this area. And I think most of this occurred before I bought it, and it probably sat outside in a municipal yard, and every time it rained, that grass would get soaked like a sponge, and it wouldn't dry out probably for weeks. If it didn't rain for 3 weeks, it might have had a chance to dry out, but the next time it rained, it would be soaking wet for who knows how long. Even in here, this area here is impossible to keep clippings out of because the cover ends right here. So I bought all new bearings. They weren't expensive. I managed to salvage the pulley holders, or the hubs, or whatever you want to call them. I've got everything in a box in the shop. I think I bought new seals, all kinds of new parts. I got 2 boxes full of new parts. This one was the only one that was still good, but it's coming off too. I think I bought bearings for that one. It'll get rebuilt. Even these bearings are kind of iffy. That's an idler pulley. It's a tensioner. There's a spring goes on this bolt. The caster's mount in front right here. And yeah, so the plan is to buy a new piece of steel. I haven't decided on how thick. I just spent some time there with my little dial calipers measuring the thickness of everything. So that's 1/4 inch. This frame around here. Well, I'm going to reuse all this. This is 1/4 inch. That's 6.35 millimeters. And then I think the the thickness of this original mower deck before it rusted out was 1/8, so 3.18 millimeters. I think that's 125 thousandths. And I'm thinking of changing it to 3/16. That's 4.76 millimeters. But you have to keep in mind that you're adding weight. And I also want to change the way this front edge was done. Look at how it's all caved in here. See the counterweight on this? This counterweight here is probably, there's enough metal in there to build at least one Cub Cadet. And the whole machine is built like that. That's why I want to, you know, get this thing up and running again this year. So I might have to add weight to it if I put too much weight on this mower deck. If I make it that much thicker. I'm planning on putting some 1/2-inch flat bar in front here and underneath to increase the strength. Because what happened, it came here all bent in like that. I took the sledgehammer, I got underneath there. I don't even think I heated it. I think I just hammered it out, and I got it straight again. But you know, metal has a memory, and you can see this has already been changed here. This is all welded in new piece of metal here. So the shop that maintained this machine probably replaced that part, that front section, because it was so banged up badly that was their only option. So I'll use everything I can from here, but there's not much. And we'll have to look at the bottom side because that's getting complicated. Now, before we look at the bottom, here's you know, I was going to draw up a diagram, and I thought, you know, if I take some pictures and then just print it on the old black and white jet ink printer, I can just draw on. I took a couple of printouts of this, and I'm just going to measure around and mark everything on this piece of paper. So to get everything welded back on exactly where it has to go, you got to have all kinds of numbers. Can't be off. All right, we're in behind here now, and you can see daylight everywhere. Like it's way worse than what it looks like from the other side. There's like almost nothing left. It's got these big, thick 3/8 plates. It's 3/8 of an inch. So sorry, I don't know what that is in metric, but there's 3 of them. There's one in the middle here, this V-shaped piece, and then these 2 are pretty well identical, and they're plug welded in here, welded around the edge. The 4 bolts to attach the blade holders there, the bearing assembly. And then they've got these tunnels, what I call tunnels, or these deflect all the grass. It's a rear discharge, so it comes out the back. It's got this thing on here. I don't think I put that on there. I have welded many of these on the mower decks, but you can see the hole over here, so there's a piece missing over here. There was no wheel when I got it. That's got to be put on there. And then, yeah, you can really see how badly banged up this part is here. Now, the light is not easy to work with here. So it's had its share of abuse. And there's catching on stumps when you back up. So I've had to deal with that issue over and over again. So okay, so what I want to do is and you can see there's welds here. So there was something here. I think there was like a shorter version of this. I don't know what you call it. Tunnel. That's going to be hard for me to make because I don't have the rollers to make those curved pieces. So I haven't really figured out how I'm going to do that. These are all going to be remade because there's nothing left of these. And then, yeah, we'll go look at the Frontier mower deck. It's up in the air and it's out in the daylight. Okay, so here's the Frontier 1017, and it's got those deflectors. It's the same kind of design. See how these are about 2 inches, and these are 3.5, 4 up here in the front. And it kind of directs an even flow of grass out the back. If you didn't have these, you'd probably have a huge windrow somewhere. So that's the reason for these. So it discharges a thin layer, the full width of the mower deck, even down here you got a little really short one here. This is like an inch long. These are 1.5 inches, 2 inches. And we can measure. I should have got my tape out. Yeah, that's 2 inch, and there's 4 inches. So 10 centimeters, 5 centimeters. This one's shorter, 1 inch, 2.5 centimeters. So it's I think they're really important to have these on there. These have got reinforcement pieces in the front here, which I will do something similar to that. And you know, I didn't mention, this is a 72-inch deck right here. There's 3 of these 72-inch mower decks to give you the 17 feet. So there's 6 inches of overlap on each mower deck on each side. So you're losing 2 feet. It would be, because, you know, 6 times 3 is 18. So you're losing a foot. And if you turn sharp, it doesn't miss any grass. Anyway, we're getting off topic here, but I looked and looked for a mower deck to buy a mower deck to mount on that tractor, and they're just not available. And to buy one and retrofit something that I'm not sure will fit could be, it may not work because there's clearance issues. And also there's a hydraulic motor I didn't show you that drives that thing, and it's on the outside of the belt. So it's totally different than any mower deck I have. I have lots of mower decks, and there's not one that the PTO belt is on the outside. PTO pulley, I should say. This thing right here. There's not one that I have that's on the outside of the belt. So it's actually spinning backwards. The blades spin one way, and the PTO is spinning the opposite way. So, and the belt it's a double V belt. There's a V on the inside and a V on the outside. It's very unusual. I've never seen that. So that wasn't an option. Now this has got chains to stop any stones from hitting people, because I mean, this is meant to be used in recreation areas, parks, baseball diamonds, soccer fields, and yeah. Okay, so there I've added about I've just spent some time putting numbers down, measuring everything I can. I put some letters down here for multiple measurements all across the front here. This A, they're all the same distance, 13 and 7/16. So that's a start. I think I'm going to use this technique again in the future. Sure beats making a drawing. This is way more accurate than any drawing I could do. I'm not a drafting expert, so. So the last thing I want to mention there is the 1/2 inch flat bar. I want to add a piece, probably 1/2 by 3/4 across the front, and then maybe one laying down in behind here. I can't do this bend. I don't have a bender heavy enough to do that, so I just looked at a mower deck at a dealer. I think it was a Husqvarna. I can't remember what model it was, and it had a 1/2 inch flat bar welded on. So that's what my plan is to do there. But that's also going to add weight, because that's definitely a weak point on this. It's been a problem with me since I bought it, and you can obviously see by this being changed. I've changed it all the way down to here. It's been replaced with new metal. So it was a problem when they had it as well, but it was probably the summer student or the guy thinking about the weekend that was running into manhole covers and who knows what. So yeah. Okay, this is my 3rd time shooting this. I got helicopters flying by. I got all kinds of construction equipment making noise around me. We're at the point where we can't use that tractor anymore. I used it to tow a small trailer last summer. It was in a couple of videos. We moved a little some rocks and some fill to build a bridge, and we used it for a couple other jobs. But other than that, it really has no use, that tractor, without a mower deck. So priority 1, get that mower deck built. I was trying to figure out why we didn't redo that last year. The plan was to do this last year, and then a couple of days ago I remembered, yeah, we were in a lockdown. We had a stay-at-home order. The world was coming to an end, and that got pushed off until now. And actually what happened was I brought home that FM 1017 and I cut the grass here with that. And then I realized it's too damn big. You know you have a problem when your lawnmower's too big. How many guys can say that? So going from with the heavier metal and adding all that extra weight, I want to hear what you guys have to say about that. All of your comments I read, and I really appreciate the input, and they're always nice comments. Rarely do I ever get a negative comment, and all of you guys, there's so many. And then interested to hear what Randy Richard has to say, or Max, Swan Valley Machine Shop, and everyone. So if you haven't already, subscribe. If you like this kind of content, keep watching. We're going to rebuild that Mower deck. There'll be a couple of part video on that. And then thanks for subscribing. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up. Take care. Bye.